So welcome to another Tokyo Revengers video guys. And yeah, we got official preview pictures for episode 3. And episode 3 will be the episode where the main part of the Tenjiku arc story will begin. I know I don't need to say this, but all the upcoming episodes are going to be epic. Animation quality is really handled well in this arc. I hope the same quality continues throughout this arc. After all, the preview pictures for episode 3 looks very promising. And it's going to be an interesting video about the story of episode 3 and where it ends and what changes they might make. So, before we talk about that, as usual guys, I would kindly appreciate it if you can drop a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel. Let's go into the video now. So let me say this at the beginning of the video. Unlike episode 1 and 2, there won't be that many changes in episode 3. Because the change done in episode 1 and 2 will be revealed in this episode. They already showed it in the opening song. Manga fans will understand. That's the end of episode 3. I think they will adapt 5 manga chapters again. So a picture of the past Naruto, part of a scene from episode 3, has been released. And this is the opening scene of episode 3. The image here is somewhat similar to the art in the manga, which makes me want to say a few things. After this, I will start telling the story of episode 3. So such details are there in the last 2 episodes as well. This means that art actually has consistency. This is actually a good thing. Also, we all saw Naruto die last episode. Here is the difference between manga and anime. We cannot see that much change. And the voice actors took this scene to another level. One of the biggest good things that happened to the Tokyo Avengers series was the voice cast. Compared to the last 2 seasons, this arc is better handled. But I don't want to exaggerate this. Let's see how they adapt the rest of the story. Now let's come to the important part of the video. And this is the second preview picture for episode 3. Takemichi finally meets Naruto again in the past. This scene is going to be very emotional. Takemichi will see that Naruto and start crying. He will remember how much they both tried to change the future together. I think this scene will be better in episode. We got a similar scene in episode 1 as well. Although the anime handled that scene well. I wish they would have shown it like Ken Wakui portrayed it in the manga series. It would have been even better. Takemichi will be very heartbroken here. He tells Naruto to get out of here. Actually, after this he will leave the place. But Takemichi would not have noticed because he was heartbroken and despair. He mumbles all the things that happened in the future and thinks that Naruto is here. When Takemichi loses his faith and thinks that death is the best, suddenly Hina comes up behind him and says I love you. Not gonna lie, when I first read this chapter, it almost made me cry. Hina doesn't care about what Takemichi has done in the future. She wants to know one thing, and that is whether he will propose her in future or not. If he does, she will die happy, and when he thinks Hina knows all the future secrets, she says she didn't hear anything he said. Here is the third preview photo of episode 3. Hina leaves with a smile after learning how Takemichi really feels about her. Again, this scene is going to be so much better in anime. Here is the fourth preview picture of episode 3. This art is very good. In this scene, Takemichi regains all his lost hope after talking to Hina and decides to destroy Izana. The next day Takemichi and Draken go to Mikey's house. And here is the fifth preview picture of episode 3. Takemichi comes to Mikey's house for the first time. As the three try to find out who this Izana is, Emma says that he is her brother. There is a backstory between them. I don't know why they haven't animated it yet. Maybe we can see that story in this episode. However, Mikey doesn't remember anything she said. But Shinichiro and Izana have already met. And Shinichiro was the only family Izana had. Draken and Takemichi realize that. When Shinichiro leaves the gang he created to Mikey, which infuriates Izana beyond measure. This is why Izana wants to destroy Mikey. The next day Takemichi calls Chifu to his house and tells him not to get involved in this fight. But when Takemichi's friends and Chifu hold a first division meeting at his house, saying that they will support him, Sanzu and Mucho comes to his house. But Mucho attacks Takemichi. Takemichi doesn't understand because they are both same gang members. Takemichi faints. When he opens his eyes again, both Inupi and Koko are already captured by him. Takemichi doesn't understand why Mucho is doing this. Inupi then reveals that he is a former member of the Tenjiku gang. It was about him that Kikucho warned Takemichi. Beware of a traitor. I think this is where episode 3 ends. Episode 3 covers 5 chapters in addition to this. This is where they end episode 3. So let us know below how excited you are for this episode. Anyway, if you guys like this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. And good luck to all.